Muy bien, Lara. Rango sits. Rango. Rango. That's a Bruce. Rango. Yeah. Lucy. Lucy. Lucy sits. Lucy. Lucy sits. 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 Lucy. Oh, Rango, you're ruining everything. Jenny, sits. 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 Okay, forget it. I'm going first. Wait. Vamos. Muy bien. Muy bien. Hello. Been gone for a while. So kids, I don't like my kids being in school, but they are in school. They're in Montessori school, and they're out for the summer. So I've been walking every morning with the dogs, but I've also been walking with the kids, so I haven't really bothered. Letta. Oh, there's a dog right here. Yep. Jetty, Jetty. Just hang on. Jetty, Jetty, Ben. Jetty. Jetty, no. Jetty. Jetty, Ben. There you go. All right. Man, there's so many dogs around here. So anyway, I've been walking with the kids. Haven't been doing the videos. Yeah, Jetty. Bruce, Ben. Bruce, Ben. Bruce, Ben. Yeah, Bruce has got a problem with this one. Bruce, Ben. Bruce, no. Bruce, Ben. Bruce. Let's see what Bruce does. Ben. Bruce, Ben. All right, here comes Bruce. He decided to tell him who's boss. That's my boy Bruce. So anyway, I haven't been doing these videos. Just been walking with the kids. But kids slept in today, so decided maybe I'll do one. And part of the reason is I kind of saw on Facebook yesterday, one of those 1-year anniversaries. I kind of like these Facebook anniversary things. I don't like thinking too much about the past or whatever. I don't care about birthdays all that much or anything like that. But just these little reminders of where you were at a certain time quite a while ago. It's kind of interesting. Jetty, Ben. Buenos días. Jetty, Ben. Loco. Jetty. Kind of interesting. So this reminder popped up, and to me, I was kind of surprised, really surprised, because it was 1 year ago that I had just sort of figured out. Buenos días. Jetty, Ben. Just sort of figured out that I was depressed. Before that, I actually didn't know. And you know, like these are all just words. You know, all these medical diagnoses, they're almost all just sort of like ways to describe things. So in actuality, I did know, I guess, I was depressed, but I never thought about it in terms of like it was an actual thing that I could fix. So it was 1 year ago today that I said, oh, I just found out I was depressed, and for the last 2 days I felt good. And I said I tried all these supplements, I changed my diet, I started doing some exercise, I started getting some sun, because I heard all those things help depression. And yeah, so that was 1 year ago that I just started all this stuff. And I actually said on the Facebook post, I look forward to the day when I can actually feel happy sometimes. And I remember kind of writing that. I remember that sentiment. And it was really a feeling of, man, I wonder what that'll be like. I don't remember ever being happy. I know I was, but I don't really remember it. It was that long ago. And it just seemed like almost like hopeless sort of situation, which is kind of how depression is. Everything seems very hopeless. So I wrote that, and so it's kind of funny to see it like a year later, how I am now, and I'm happy like almost every day, pretty much every day actually. I kind of had a few days this week where I wasn't like all that happy for a couple days, but it was nothing like in the past. It was just kind of this nothing's all that exciting or great, or just kind of don't feel energized, don't feel like I want to do anything, which, you know, I think a lot of people feel that a lot, but I haven't felt that way in a long time. And I'm so far into this sort of development now that I can just totally recognize it for what it is. And so I said to myself, even 2 days ago when I was feeling it, I was like, yeah, this is going to happen. You got these ups and downs. It's never a flat line. You're going to have days where you just don't feel all that super happy or energized or excited or motivated. So feel that. That's what I told myself. Just feel it. And look into it too when you're doing your meditation. Try to see if there's any reason for it. Maybe it's some past reason that's coming back. Or maybe it's just, you know, you got sort of highs and lows, and maybe it's just a bit of a low. But it was absolutely nothing compared to my life before a year ago, where every day just seemed pretty morbid. The only time I ever felt happy or excited was when I was drinking. And of course, that's all just an illusion, which would lead to feeling even worse afterwards. And that was like just a downward spiral that just occurred over really years. And even though like a year ago I wasn't even really drinking that much, like I definitely would drink if I went on a trip or something, or if someone was in town and we went out or something. But in general, I was just not really even drinking back then, and I was still pretty depressed. So it wasn't just the alcohol, but the alcohol definitely contributed to making it worse and worse. And it was a big part. Like it definitely, I don't want to downplay it. Like it definitely, if I wasn't drinking during the last 10 years, I wouldn't have been as bad as I was, because it contributed to the depression. And it, like I said, it just became this spiral. It's like, oh, I feel crappy. I have to go to this party. Look, everyone's gonna be happy at this party. I'm not happy at all. I don't even want to be there. But if I have a few drinks, all of a sudden I'm talking, I'm interested in talking to people, I'm interested in being there, kind of enjoying myself. A few more drinks, gone. Rest of the night, forget pretty much everything. Wake up in the morning feeling like garbage. Yes, I was just doing the wrong things. I wish I knew. But hey, there's only one way to learn when it comes to me. And that's to experience it and do it myself, because I don't listen to anybody. And that's a good and a bad thing, I think. But I do actually listen a bit now, especially to people that I've realized. Where's all my dogs? What's going on? All right, they're all still here, good. All right, let's go back here. People like my wife, who's told me so many things over the years, and I didn't listen to her at first, and then months or years later, I'm like, oh yeah, you were totally right about that. So, certain people that I do listen to now, that I didn't used to listen to, but it took me like years. They call it in Spanish, burro. I'm a burro. I'm like stubborn, like a donkey, I guess. I think a lot of people are, but I'm especially stubborn. Or I was. I'm changing. Everything's changing. That's sort of the point of this video, is that things can change. And so many people get really, I don't know how many times I've heard this. People go, yeah, my life sucks, and that's just the way it's going to have to be. It's like, no, it doesn't. What the hell are you talking about? Are you serious? Like, I can't believe they're serious. But they are. It's like, well, I have a crappy job, crappy life, live in a crappy place, I'm not happy, I'm just gonna have to do this till it's over. It's like, why? Why would you think that way? It's strange. I don't know if it's from the government indoctrination camps, the mainstream television programming. Something definitely gets into people's heads that they're not in charge of their own ship. And that they're just basically along for the ride, and if the ride sucks, that's just, the ride's gonna suck. No, it doesn't have to. I remember saying a while ago, it wasn't maybe a year ago, but at some point, I did say I was gonna get out of this thing I was in. And I said I knew I would. And the reason I knew is, every time in my life, I'm not saying I'm special, everyone can do this. Every time in my life when I say, okay, I'm gonna change this, and I'm serious about it, obviously, like I'm not just like saying that and then 5 minutes later forgetting about it, like I wanna change this, I'm going to change this. Every single time I've changed it. And it's nothing special about me or anything. You can change whatever you want. You just have to do it. You have to focus your intention on it and your attention. You have to have intent. So my intent back then, as I wrote in that post, is I would like to feel good sometimes. That was basically my intention. I didn't know exactly how I was going to get there. That's another thing too about planning, or a lot of people plan. You never know how you're going to get there, but just have the intention to get there, work on it every day. That's what I did. I changed everything. And I remember my wife even saying, and she says this about me quite a bit, and I don't get why she thinks it's so strange. Like, when I found out that I was depressed, I asked on Facebook for suggestions what I could do. And man, everyone's got an opinion. A lot of them were good. Some of them I don't think were. I think they were wrong. The ones who were saying I should get on some medical pharmaceuticals. Although I didn't do them, so I can't say, but I'm glad I didn't go down that road. Because I don't think that's the right way ever. But a lot of people, all these obscure things, talk about changing diet, talk about different supplements, talk about blah, 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 everything. And there's literally like hundreds of them. And I think I did almost all of them. Like the next day almost. So my wife was like sitting there, she's like, how do you just change so fast? So I guess there's something about me, I'm just, because I don't know, I guess some people are scared to change or scared to try new things or something. But with me, that's what kind of excites me, is like when I found out I was depressed, and this is another thing that people will say too, like when they say, oh, when they find out how the world works, when they find out how government works, what's really going on, like who's controlling what, how, that we've been lied to about most things. A lot of people say, oh, that made me so sad. I was really depressed for a long time after that. And I'm like, why? Like that excites me so much. Like when I found out about, just use 9/11 as an example, I was like, oh, I knew there was something, I knew it. Like I was excited, I was like, oh, I gotta look into this, I knew it. And then you look into more stuff and it's like, oh, it's so exciting to find out something a lot closer to the truth. And it's the same thing with, changing. So when I said, well, hey guys, what can I do? And everyone put all their suggestions. I got really excited. I'm like, oh, I can't wait to try all this stuff. And everyone's like, hey, you should just try one at a time so you can kind of tell which one's working. I'm like, I can't, I don't do that. So I literally, my Amazon order the next day was probably like 50 different supplements. And I took them all as soon as I got them, which, I don't really recommend. Although I've done that my whole life. Because I don't really know which stuff's really working or not. But at the same time, I just want to take them all and just see how I feel. Like I just want to go, so I don't have this fear of it. I like a lot of people, oh, you might get sick. It's like, yes, maybe not. I just want to do this right now. Like, I want to get rid of this feeling right now. And so yeah, that's what I did. And anyone can do this stuff. So if you're out there and you're like, well, I'm not happy with my life, change it. What are you waiting for? And don't wait weeks, months, or years, now, today. Why wouldn't you? Ask yourself that question. What are you scared of? Well, I could lose my job. So? What, there's no other jobs in the world? It's only one? Is there only one job? You don't even want a job anyway. You'll learn that once you get rid of it. You want to give other people jobs. Let them work. Not that I don't work, I work a lot, but I can't do all the things that the people I pay to do. It's just impossible. So it's good. And they're happy too. They got a job. They like having jobs. And so yeah, just change it, whatever it is. And like I said, ask yourself, why am I not? Oh, well, I hear this one a lot. My wife or my husband, I want to do this and they don't. Well, change it up. Get a new one. You're not on the same track with them anymore. You were when you met them. And that's why you're with them. But if that changes over time, you got to change it. You're both not going to be happy if you're totally changed. I should put a bit of a disclaimer on that, because my wife definitely hasn't been changing along with all my changes at the same speed. But I haven't really changed along with what she wanted me to change too, and I wanted to change as well. It just took a while to get to being that man that she wanted me to be. I just wasn't ready. But she gave me the time, and it took years to, get into the lots of trial and error, lots of trying, lots of screwing up. But I finally got there. So, don't just dump your wife or husband today because you're like, oh, I want to do this. They don't. But, give them some time for sure. But don't think that you have to be locked into it for the rest of your life just because they don't want to do it. That would be the biggest disservice you could do to yourself and them. Because if they really care about you, now they might not, right? Because if they don't want you to be happy, do they really care about you? I would say no. Like my wife, if she wasn't happy being with me, I'd be like, go with someone else, please. Like, I want you to be happy. I care about you. The people who are with people and they don't want them to be happy, but they want them to be with them, that's really sick. Like, it's really wrong. Like, talk about, just doing things the exact wrong way. But yeah, no, like, give your whatever, your wife or husband or whoever, some time. It could be even years too. But start moving in that direction, right? So if you're like, I want to move to Mexico, just, random thought. But my wife says she'll never do it. Well, start figuring it out. Go on a vacation first with her. Go to Acapulco, for example. See if she likes it. Chances are she will. But start moving in that direction. But if you really want to do something like fairly major like that and your spouse doesn't, you have to think about just changing things. Because what, are you going to just sit there in your house wondering what it would have been like if you could have followed your dreams? You're not going to be happy, and you're going to really resent the other person, and that's going to really be unpleasant for years and decades to come. As you sit there hating them, and they sit there looking at you, why are you always so unhappy? Well, yeah, I wanted to move to Mexico. It's like, you always blame me. It's like, stop it, end that stuff right now. Just go. I'm not sure what life is. I'm not sure if we reincarnate, so to speak. I have a feeling we do. But a lot of people think it's just one shot. See, I'm a person who thinks actually that it's probably reincarnation of some sort, maybe not even on this dimension, but there is like some sort of ongoing thing going on. But there's a lot of people who think this is the one shot, and they are still not doing what they want. That is insane. Like, man, if you thought this was the only life, and you're not doing what you want, like, what are you doing? Like, what's the point then? What, just get your pension or something? Oh yeah, that'll make you happy, real happy. Seeing all those people, they're real happy. So yeah, just do it. And the whole point of this video is you can change. You can change anything you want. Look at me. If you would have shown me this video a year ago, I would have barely believed it. I've been like, who's that? What, he's up early walking the dogs. He's full of vigor and he's excited and he's interested and he's motivated. He looks pretty good. Not saying I look great, but he looks pretty good, you know. No bags, major bags under his eyes. Looking pretty muscular, actually. He says he's happy. That's me? That could be me? Yeah, it is. I did it. And I knew I was going to do it. It's hard to, like I said, at the beginning, it's really hard to imagine. Everything seems so, when you're depressed, it seems so hopeless, as I said. But I knew. You could see in that one line that I wrote on Facebook a year ago, I look forward to the day when I will be happy sometimes. So I knew that by what I wrote there was me saying, I know I'm going to get there, but it's really hard for me to imagine right now. And how did I do it? Just every day working on it. If you want to change anything in your life, you can. You just got to do it. Just work on it every day. It all adds up. There was no one point where I was fixed. There was a lot of change in my diet. There was a lot of fasting, which led to quitting smoking, which made me feel better, which improved my meditation, which led to me quitting drinking, which really made me feel even way better, and actually made me feel so much better. All that stuff. I basically freed myself. Addictions or dependencies they're worse than the government. I've said this in past videos. Like, I'm really happy right now, like, because I don't have to drink. Hey, Letta, no! Don't drink the puddle water. Jenny, no! Cochinos. Muy bien. So that's sort of the other part of this is, like, I've freed myself so much. Like, there's still government in the world. Still the Mexican government here, there's still the Canadian government, and US government bombing everywhere, and all kinds of government stuff. But that's nothing compared to what I was doing to myself. Now that I've freed myself, especially from the smoking and the drinking, I feel like I'm out of jail. I feel like I was in jail. I didn't realize it. Like, it felt like if I didn't smoke or drink, I was going to be unhappy. But it was the opposite. Because I was smoking and drinking so much, it was making me very unhappy. And because I was doing a lot of it, I couldn't really get into what I'm into now. Like this morning, I just meditated for like an hour this morning. I only planned to meditate for 15 to 30 minutes. I did a guided Kundalini meditation this morning. And I thought, I got so much stuff to do. I'm just going to do like 15, maybe 30. The 30-minute thing ended on YouTube, and it just went to the next track, which just happened to be another guided Kundalini meditation. I went for the next one. I went for almost an hour. And I was like, that's so much better than like drinking or something. Like, I feel so good right now. Like, it's hard to explain if you haven't done it. It's really hard to explain, but like, I feel so centered, feel so ready to start the day now. And I'm going on a trip starting on Sunday. I'm going to Germany to take my son there. And then I'm not sure where I'm going to go. There's got about 10 countries on my wish list on this trip. And I'm super excited. I'm like, man, I can go to all these places. Because in the past, it'd be like, I'll be drinking, and after a few days, I'll be so tired, and I just won't want to go anywhere. And it's like, no, I don't have to do that anymore. I can go. I'm going to bring my TRX cables. Work out every day, try to find some yoga and stuff, whatever country I'm in. Eat decent. I don't know if I'll be able to eat perfect, but that's really hard. But I still don't have myself to the point where it's easy to eat on the road and stuff perfectly. But I'll definitely eat fairly well. And so yeah, it's like a brand new world to me. So looking back a year ago, did I think I'd be able to do this? There's that dog. Bruce, be nice to that dog. It's a nice dog. Did I think I'd be able to do this? I kind of knew I would. No, Jetty, no. Rango, no. Bruce, no. I kind of knew I could, but it's hard to believe until it actually happens. Yeah, so Lara's found a new friend who's big enough to play with her. Yeah. But she's scared to play. Play. Or he, actually. Play. You can play. Bruce. Bruce now. Alright, we got a new friend. It's a cutie. Muy bien, Lucy. Muy bien. Muy bien.